Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle is a profound spiritual guidebook that emphasizes the importance of living fully in the present moment. The central message of the book is simple yet transformative. Human suffering arises when we are disconnected from the present, trapped in thoughts about the past or future. To find peace and fulfillment, Tolle argues, we must awaken to the present moment and stop identifying with the mind and ego. This book offers practical wisdom for achieving this awareness and finding inner peace. Let's dive deeper into the major themes and teachings of the Power of Now. Chapter 1. Living in the Present Moment. The essence of the book is about living fully in the present. Tolle explains that the present moment is the only time that truly exists. The past is a memory, and the future is just a mental projection. Most people, however, are constantly distracted by thoughts about the past or anxieties about the future, leading them to miss the richness of the present moment. Tolle calls this a state of mind that disconnects us from life as it is happening. The key to overcoming this mental trap is awareness, becoming conscious of the present moment and accepting it as it is. He emphasizes that we need to detach from our thoughts and observe them without judgment. 2. The role of the mind and ego. According to Tolle, much of our suffering arises from the mind's constant chatter and the identification with the ego. The ego is essentially the false sense of self that is built upon our thoughts, past experiences, and social conditioning. It's the part of us that says, I am this, or I am that, based on labels and identities. The ego keeps us constantly seeking validation and approval from the outside world. It also fuels feelings of anxiety, anger, jealousy, and fear because it thrives on comparison and control. Tolle encourages us to recognize the ego for what it is, a mental construct, and to shift our focus from identifying with it to simply observing it. By doing this, we can transcend the ego and experience a deeper sense of peace. 3. The pain body. Tolle introduces the concept of the pain body, which is the accumulation of emotional pain from past experiences. This pain body exists in the body and the mind, and it can be triggered by events or situations in the present, causing a person to react emotionally in disproportionate ways. The pain body often operates unconsciously, making it difficult to notice. Tolle suggests that to free ourselves from the pain body, we must become aware of it when it is triggered, and not allow ourselves to identify with the emotional reaction. Instead of reacting automatically, we can choose to stay present and conscious of the moment, thereby dissolving the pain body. 4. Inner stillness and awareness. A major theme in the Power of Now is the idea of inner stillness. Tolle believes that beneath the noise and turbulence of the mind, there is a deeper dimension of consciousness that is calm, peaceful, and aware. This stillness is always present, but we often fail to notice it because we are so consumed by mental activity. One of the key practices that Tolle suggests is to connect with this inner stillness through mindfulness and awareness. This can be done through simple practices like focusing on the breath, feeling the sensations in the body, and observing thoughts without attachment. By doing so, we can access a state of peace and clarity that is not disturbed by the fluctuations of the mind. 5. Acceptance and surrender. Tolle encourages the practice of acceptance and surrender to the present moment, even when circumstances are challenging. This doesn't mean passivity or resignation, but rather embracing what is without resistance. Resistance to the present moment, whether in the form of anger, frustration, or regret, only creates more suffering. Acceptance, on the other hand, creates a sense of peace and harmony, even in difficult situations. Tolle emphasizes that when we surrender to the present moment, we are able to respond to life from a place of inner calm and wisdom, rather than reacting from the ego or emotional pain. 6. The observer consciousness. A crucial concept in the book is becoming the observer of your thoughts and emotions. Tolle suggests that instead of getting caught up in our thoughts or identifying with our emotions, we should learn to observe them from a place of detached awareness. This allows us to break free from the patterns of thought that cause suffering. By simply observing our thoughts, we can recognize that we are not our thoughts. This practice of watching the thinker helps us disconnect from the mental noise and return to the present moment. It also allows us to gain greater control over our reactions and responses to life's challenges. 7. Transcending the ego. A central message of the book is the idea of transcending the ego. The ego is the source of much of our suffering, and to experience true peace and enlightenment, we must let go of the attachment to the ego. Tolle explains that the ego is sustained by identification with the past, future, and the sense of I that we constantly reinforce. The more we identify with the ego, the more we are trapped in a cycle of seeking external validation, acquiring possessions, and comparing ourselves to others. By practicing presence and awareness, we can begin to dissolve the ego and experience our true nature as consciousness itself. This shift from ego to presence is the path to enlightenment. 8. Enlightenment and the true self. Tolle explains that enlightenment is not something that is achieved or attained. It is a shift in consciousness that occurs when we stop identifying with the ego and connect with the present moment. When we experience the present without the filters of the past or future, we realize that we are not the mind or the body, but rather pure consciousness. This realization is the essence of enlightenment. Tolle asserts that enlightenment is our natural state, and it is always available to us. It's simply a matter of waking up to it by becoming more aware of the present moment. 9. Practical guidance for living in the now. While the book offers profound spiritual teachings, Tolle also provides practical advice for living in the now. One of the simplest practices he suggests is to focus on the breath. By paying attention to the breath, we anchor ourselves in the present moment and quiet the mind. Another practical exercise is to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment. This practice helps you become more aware of when the mind is taking over and allows you to shift back to the present moment. Tolle also suggests incorporating moments of stillness throughout the day, such as when waiting in line or commuting. These moments can be opportunities to practice presence and reconnect with your inner peace. 10. The timeless now. Ultimately, Tolle's message is that the present moment is all we ever truly have. The past is gone, and the future is uncertain, yet we often spend our lives lost in the past or worrying about the future. The true key to peace and happiness lies in recognizing the present moment as the only reality. When we live in the now, we experience a sense of timelessness, where the usual divisions of time and space fall away. This state of presence is a gateway to inner peace, joy, and fulfillment. The Power of Now offers a simple yet transformative teaching. Happiness and peace are not found in external circumstances, but in the awareness of the present moment. By letting go of the past and future and embracing the now, we can experience a profound shift in consciousness that leads to a life of greater peace, freedom, and spiritual awakening. What we learn from this book. From The Power of Now, we learn that the path to true happiness and peace is found in the present moment. By letting go of the past and future, transcending the ego, and observing our thoughts without attachment, we can live a life filled with inner stillness, acceptance, and awareness. We also learn the importance of surrendering to the present moment and embracing whatever comes our way, understanding that resistance only brings more suffering. Ultimately, the book teaches that enlightenment is not something to achieve, but something to awaken to by becoming aware of our true nature, consciousness itself. If you found this summary helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Join the family, and let's continue this journey of growth and self-awareness together.